Coronation Street actor Liam McShane has spoken about feeling nervous about his current big storyline, which has seen his character Dylan Wilson accidentally cause girlfriend Betsy Swain to suffer a stroke due to strangulation during sex. Although the act was consensual, not everyone in Weatherfield believes that was the case. The subject matter isn't one that is shown or discussed much on television, and McShane admitted that tackling such a topic was a bit daunting for both himself and Betsy actor Sidney Martin. It was definitely a mixture of excitement to portray such an important storyline and of course nerves, he said. Because Sidney and I worked together quite a lot, there wasn't any awkwardness between us, which was a massive help. We both looked at it and thought, right, let's really get our teeth stuck into this. But given the weight of the subject, those nerves were definitely there. When it comes to the public response to the storyline so far, McShane admitted, to be honest, I try to stay off social media and I get a bit scared watching my own work back. Despite that, he said that, the amount of conversation this has started is a massive wake-up call, adding, it's got people talking. You see comments where someone says, this would never happen, and someone else replies, well, actually, yes it does. The generational difference in the response has been fascinating, the actor continued. I didn't realize how widespread this issue was among young people. Our research with IFAS, Institute for Addressing Strangulation, showed that there's statistics showing how huge this trend is within the 16 to 24 age group. Dylan and Betsy are right in the middle of that demographic, which made them the right characters to deliver this message. McShane talked about how he asked to sit in on meetings with the Stroke Association, even though they were designed for Martin, as he wanted to hear the experiences of family members of people who have suffered a stroke. While their strokes weren't caused by sexual strangulation, hearing their lived experiences was invaluable, he said. I learned a lot about how a medical crisis like this picks a family apart, how the mums reacted, how the dads handled it and how their partners supported them. It really helped me understand Dylan's mindset. Coronation Street is preparing to put Dylan Wilson at the center of another major storyline, and one of the soap stars has admitted there were plenty of nerves surrounding the dramatic plot. Dylan has already found himself caught up in a number of difficult situations on the cobbles, but his latest storyline looks set to push the character into much more complicated territory. As tensions rise, the consequences could affect not only Dylan but several familiar faces around him. For the actor involved, taking on such a significant storyline has clearly been a challenge. Speaking about the upcoming scenes, the Coronation Street star revealed that there were genuine nerves before filming began. Big storylines can place enormous pressure on soap actors, particularly when the plot involves emotional confrontations, difficult decisions, and consequences that can change a character's life. And Dylan's latest chapter promises exactly that. The character has gradually become more involved in stories involving family, friendship, and trouble on the streets. While Dylan may sometimes appear confident on the surface, the latest events could expose a much more vulnerable side of him. That is one reason the storyline could prove so important. Rather than simply giving Dylan another dramatic problem to overcome, the plot has the potential to explore how he reacts when there appears to be no easy way out. His decisions could have serious repercussions, leaving those closest to him wondering whether they can still trust him. For the actor, portraying those emotions naturally is likely to have been one of the biggest challenges. There is also the question of how viewers will respond. Soap storylines often divide audiences, especially when a familiar character becomes involved in controversial decisions. Dylan's actions could leave some fans frustrated while others may sympathize with the difficult position he finds himself in. That uncertainty can make filming a major storyline particularly nerve-wracking. The star's comments suggest that the upcoming scenes were not treated as just another ordinary week on the ITV soap. Instead, the cast appear to have recognized that Dylan's story carries considerable emotional weight. And that could be good news for viewers. Some of the most memorable Coronation Street storylines are those that force characters to confront situations they never expected to face. When a character is placed under enough pressure, secrets can emerge, relationships can fracture and unexpected alliances can form. Dylan could soon find himself at the heart of all three. The storyline may also have wider implications for the younger characters around him. What begins as Dylan's problem could quickly become something that others are forced to deal with. Once more people become involved, keeping the truth hidden may become increasingly difficult. That is where the drama could really escalate. For Dylan, the biggest danger may not necessarily be what happens in the immediate aftermath. It could be what happens once the dust settles. If his choices leave someone hurt, angry or betrayed, repairing those relationships may prove much harder than making the original decision. And on the cobbles, consequences have a habit of returning when characters least expect them. The actor's admission about feeling nervous also gives viewers an intriguing insight into the scale of the storyline. Soap stars routinely deal with intense material, but certain plots stand out because they demand something different from a performer. Whether that means emotionally exhausting scenes, difficult confrontations, or a complete change in the way audiences view a character, these storylines can be challenging even for experienced actors. Dylan's latest plot appears to fall into that category. It could also represent an important turning point for the character. For some time, Dylan has been navigating the complicated world around him while trying to establish where he belongs. The new storyline could force him to grow up quickly and confront consequences that cannot simply be brushed aside. But growing up does not necessarily mean making the right choices. In fact, Dylan could find himself making mistakes that create even bigger problems. The pressure surrounding him could become unbearable, particularly if he believes that telling the truth would make everything worse. That creates a classic Coronation Street dilemma. Does he come clean and risk losing everything, or keep quiet and hope the situation somehow disappears? Fans will know that the second option rarely works on the cobbles. As the storyline unfolds, Dylan may discover that every attempt to protect himself creates another complication. Someone could begin asking questions. Another character could uncover a crucial detail. And eventually, the truth may come out in a way Dylan has absolutely no control over. That possibility makes the upcoming scenes even more intriguing. The actor's nerves could therefore be a sign of just how emotionally demanding the storyline became behind the scenes. Viewers may see a side of Dylan that has rarely been explored before, while the character himself could emerge from the experience completely changed. Whether that change is positive remains to be seen. What does seem clear is that Dylan's latest storyline is not going to be a small bump in the road. It has the potential to create lasting consequences, challenge important relationships and place the character in an increasingly difficult position. And with the actor admitting to nerves over the material, fans have another reason to pay close attention. Dylan's next chapter could be one of his most dramatic yet, and by the time the truth begins to emerge, there may be no easy way back for him. Coronation Street airs on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and streams on ITVX.